Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just want to fall on you. About 5 minutes. Waiting and to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just want to fall on you. To show the devils you ain't nothing to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Come on, West.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, VJ. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. Mama grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be church. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say all y'all do the street. Tell y'all through the street. When nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass obsolete. He ain't one of us hit the lead. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Look, I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my targets on the move, bitch, I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Color Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead.
Bear with me 1 second, Israel. Bear with me 1 second. All right, let's clap it up. Yeah. Y'all heard was that Gully Jack by Captain Akkad and Officer Zion, man. It's hardcore, man. That One West music. Now understand this. Shalom Israel, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, Brakathum, Yahweh Shamar, Thumb Bashim Yahshua. I'm priest and officer 1,000, Yedai. I'm covering for priest and officer 5,000, Marah. This is the Lashawan Qadash class. Now understand this, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. Why is it important for us to come back to our identity and learn our language, man? Why? Now, I'm going to tell you what. It's important for us to understand, man, because, you know, when other fake Israelite groups and in the Christian church they teach you that our language doesn't mean anything. Like, it's going to be a time appointed for that, and that's a damn lie, man. It's important, man, to understand and learn your culture right now. And the only way to do that is here in the I.S.U.P.K, in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yohanna, man. It's important for us to come and learn, man, on who we really are and understand why our language is important. If I could just get one scripture first, can you give me Jeremiah 17 and verse 4 before we spin the camera to the board? I just want to get this real quick, man, because what we don't understand is as Black and Hispanics, we've been disconnected from our culture. We have been. We've been disconnected. We don't know who we are. We think, you know what I mean, that English is just our first and natural language. You know what I mean? If you a Northern Kingdom brother or sister, you think, you know what I mean, Spanish is your first language or any type of dialect, you know what I mean, that our First Nation brothers and sisters came up with, when our natural language is Hebrew, man. But because we disobeyed the Most High, we got discontinued from our culture, from our inheritance, man, our heritage. Read that for me, Bubba, for sure, before I spin the camera to the board real quick.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy inheritance.
It says, thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy inheritance. Meaning we've been discontinued from our inheritance. We don't even know who the hell we are. You think, you know what I mean, English is your first language, and it's not. Black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. It's natural now because this is the language that we've been taught. The language, you know what I mean, of our captor. And even English itself is not the natural tongue, you know what I mean, of the oppressor. They stole it from the Japhites, from the Samoans and the Tongans and the Polynesians. There, you know what I mean, the English was really their language, man. The oppressor's native language is Yiddish. What we have to understand as the Lord's people, man, we have a culture, we have an identity. But because we got discontinued from that, this is why it's important for us to come and learn and sit in these classes, man. I implore everybody, man, to make sure y'all tune in next Friday as well. You know, Priest and Officer 5,000 Marah is a powerful Hebrew class. You know, try to cover the class, you know, I mean, the best of my ability, Black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. But first, let's go, man, and understand we've been disconnected from our inheritance. We've been discontinued from it. Read on.
That I gave thee.
That I gave thee, meaning the Lord gave this to us. The Lord gave us, you know what I mean, these laws, statutes, and commandments. The Lord gave us this language, man. The Hebrew, the Lashawan Qadash, man. Read on.
And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies.
And to serve thy enemies, man. We serving our enemies here in America. We are. We are serving our enemies. And don't even realize it. Don't even understand, man, that the oppressor is our enemy. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. He is. And which is heavy, man, what we need to understand, man, it's time to separate from this enemy. It's time to separate from him, man, because they make it seem like that we ain't nothing but niggas, spicks, and savages. And that's a damn lie, man. We are the princes and princesses of the power, man. We was called after the Lord's name, man. Read on.
And the land which thou knowest not.
And which the land which thou knowest not. Meaning this land that we know is not here is America. We don't understand. This ain't our land. America is not our rest. It's not our home, man. And which is important for us to further understand, man, knowing that America is not our rest, knowing that it's not our home, man. This is why it's time to separate and come back to our one true identity. Now, if I could, let's drop it. I spin the camera to the board. Bear with me 1 second. See if we can set it up.
Okay.
See, we can set it up. Right by how y'all.
Okay.
Make sure if y'all have any questions too, I'll be answering y'all questions tonight. I'll be answering y'all questions if y'all have them. Today is going to be kind of an introductory class to the Hebrew. I'm going to go over some words as well. I'm going to cover some stories that's prevalent in the news. You know what I mean? Now, while Bahaya is messing around with the camera, let's understand this real quick. If I may, bear with me. Bobby. This right here is our language. This is our identity. This is our culture right here. This right here is the Lashawan Qadash. This is our language, man. This is the Hebrew. To understand, you know what I mean, which is heavy about it. A little bit. Which is heavy about it, man. And we need to understand, man, like in the oppressor's alphabet, his alphabet is what? From left, you know what I mean, to right. While ours is from right to left. The first character is the I. The second is the Ba. The Ga, the Da, the Ha, the Wa, Za, Ha, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Ha, Za, Wa, Ra, Sha, Fa. Now, if you look at it, right, I have my Ba put up the English, on it under each letter, if you could, which is heavy about it. You're going to notice a couple things. Look. Oh, man. But recite your alphabet. I'll do mine first. And I kind of just did. Now, it's me reciting my alphabet. Abba, da, da, ha, wa, za, ha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, kwa, wa, sha, tha. Right. Now, I'm going to recite your alphabet. Okay. A, ba, da, da, ha, wa, za, ha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, kwa, wa, sha, tha. Oh, son of Christ, man. Understand this, man. This is ours right here. This is our language, man. This is ancient. This is what Adam was writing in, man. And what we have to understand, man, if I could, what we have to understand when it's so heavy about it, this belongs to us. Now, you're going to notice some things too, especially here, that shows you how much the devil be oppressive is. Now, as I is writing down, man, you're going to notice some characters may look familiar, like the Zah. You know, when you look at that, like, oh, that's the Z. And then even if you look at like the La, that's an L. But to show you that the oppressor is a damn liar and a thief, man. Wow. They steal every goddamn thing that is on the earth. Everything. Can't have nothing. Can't have nothing whatsoever. For us, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman, this is ours. This is ours right here. That's the I, that's the Ba, the Ga, the Da, Ha, Wa, the Za. I know you're still out there, but I don't mean it, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't mean to cut you. No, man. Ain't do that. Now you'll notice, right? So, with the Za. To show you like how much of a thief the oppressor is, man. They call that Z. That's the Za, man. The Ha, the Ta, the Ya, the Ka, and the La. And the La looks familiar, Ma, the Na, the Sa, the A, the Pa, Ta, Za, Wa, Ra, Sha, Fa. Now, this is our language, man. This is the Hebrew alphabet. Right. And it goes to show you, man, that we have something. We have an identity. We have a culture. Right. Now, don't let the oppressor make it seem like that we nothing but niggas and spicks and savages, and we not, man. We are God's chosen people, man. And it's time for us to come back to our identity and come back to our culture and who the hell we are, man. Now, this was taken from us. Now, if I could, I'm going to let them get that up. And I want you to put the Assyrian up. I hate doing the Assyrian, but however, You know what I mean? The Torah was written in the Assyrian because when we were under the Assyrian captivity, they went around messing with our language. Now understand that this is ours. This is what we have. This belongs to us. What I is going to put up in the same thing I put up in the what I is getting ready to put up is the Assyrian. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over some words tonight. Bear with me. If y'all have any questions as well, make sure y'all type them in. Don't be afraid, you know what I mean, to type your questions in no matter what it is. And I'll be answering your questions tonight. Swear that by you can now erase it with the Assyrian up there. Because what we need to understand, man, which is so heavy about it, that this belongs to us. We have something. And they make it seem like, you know what I mean, if we don't have anything. And we have to understand, man, that we have everything that these heathens could ever want, man. You want to know why? Because we have our God. We have our power. The important thing to understand, man, if I could, real quick, the important thing to understand, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman, that this is ours. This belongs to us. These other nations hate us, man, because what they don't understand is, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. What our people don't understand is these people are never going to love us. They're never going to give a damn about us, and neither should we want them to. Neither should. I'm going to explain why. Because these heathen nations hate our people, man. They hate us. They hate everything about us. And why is that? That's because the Lord chose us. And we have to understand, man, like our God has enemies. Like we have enemies. And they attacked us, you know what I mean, out in the open. And they hit us covertly as well, Israel. And this is another way of how they hit us. Like Bahaya is putting up on the board is the Assyrian. Now notice, the Assyrian is not like the ancient that we see. This dusty language right here, this right here is what the Assyrians, you know what I mean, what the heathens, you know what I mean, turned our language into when we was in captivity. And I tell you, Israel, I can't stand it. Makes my blood boil. However, because, you know what I mean, like we read in Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4, because we sinned against our God, against our power, man, against our Father, guess what? I'll tell you what happened. We got discontinued from our inheritance. Now we have to write our language in the Assyrian, and which goes to show you, man, why it's so important to understand that our God chose us. Why do I say this? Why do I say this? Because these heathens are so envious of us. You know what I mean? They hate us so much that the attacks that they do to us, man, is subtle. It's very subtle. It's real subtle what they did here. It was very subtle. The fact that they was able, you know what I mean, to mess with our language, you know what I mean, and now we are forced, you know what I mean, to read and learn, you know what I mean, the Assyrian, when we should just be studying the ancient. Well, I'm telling you, Israel, there's going to come a time where we are going to be, so it's going to come a time, man, well, that ain't gonna be. We ain't gonna have to worry about these Syrian no more. We're gonna be back in our land, back in our kingdom, man. Under the Most High, under our King, Yahweh Shah, Mashiach. And things are gonna go back to the days of old. They are going to be more glorious as well in Christ's kingdom. When I finish writing that out, and get right back into it. Bobby. Bear with me. No questions so far. Put this this up on the screen and share it over the scripture. Also, make sure if y'all have any questions, make sure y'all type them in. Bear with me for 1 second. Say this man, amazing handwriting. Amazing. Amazing handwriting, Israel. Now, I'm gonna share this to the screen in a minute. After we go through this, I think I'm gonna read this in the Hebrew. First, I'll get right back into it. Now, this is the Assyrian. This is the Assyrian people. Right. Our people were under the Assyrian Empire, in their captivity. Because America ain't our first captivity, black man, Hispanic man, and woman. Ain't to break it to you, this is not our first go around with these heathens. Right. Now, first we was enslaved in Egypt. Then we went on to Babylon. Right. We went on to the Medo-Persian Empire. Then we went under the Assyrians. Then we went under the Greek and the Roman Empire. Now we're in America. These heathens find new ways to mess with us, Israel. Right. This is how they did it. Now you saw how glorious the ancient was. Now this is the Assyrian Hebrew. That's what our language now. This is the I in Assyrian. That's the Ba in Assyrian. The Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ha, Ta, Ya, Ka, La. Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Ta, Za, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Tha. Now, this is the Assyrian. Now, you'll notice, under some of the characters, you'll see different ways to write them, and I'll explain that in a minute. Now, you have the Ka, This is the Ka, the Assyrian. Now, the Ka, at the ending of a word, this is what the Ka would look like at the end. Now, the same thing, with the Na. The Na at the end of the word would be this. Right. Slide. Let me fix the camera. We might have to switch to the other camera. I don't know why it keeps cutting off. Cut. It's luck. Bear with me 1 second, Israel. Bear with me 1 second. So if I go back into it, start the camera back up. All right, now it's visible. All right, we'll switch after I do this real quick. Okay. Now, as I was saying, with some of these characters in the Syrian, right? At the ending of the word, it'd be a little different, like the Ka. That's the Ka at the beginning, Ka at the end, the end with the Ka. That's what you'll get. Same thing with the Na. If the Na right here, this is how it begins. And if it's at the end of the word, that's what the Na would be. Same thing with the Pa. Same thing with the Tazah. And Salakia. That's it. I believe I hit it. Oh, Salakia. I missed the Ma. Same thing with the Ma. The Ma at the beginning looks like this, and the Ma at the end would look like that, like some square box. Now, all of this is just ridiculous, Israel. It is. It's just ridiculous to look at, man. I mean, this is what the heathens did, to our language. And it's important. If I could, give me Zephaniah 3 and 9 on the show. Okay. Give me Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 9. And read that for me.
Okay. This.
Zephaniah 3 and 9. Give that from the book, sure.
Okay. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3.
And make sure y'all got any questions, make sure y'all type them in. We answer your questions, right? We'll do that a little bit. Go ahead.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, and verse 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language.
Then will I turn to the people a pure language. Soon we're going to go back to our ancient, man. We don't have to worry about, you know what I mean, the serious when we write in the ancient. The Lord said, soon I will turn to a what?
Pure language.
Soon I will turn back to a pure language. There's going to come a time when we ain't going to be speaking English. We ain't going to be speaking Spanish. Unless you want to, you know, dealing with these other heathen nations that's going to be our slaves. In the near future, under a black man by the name of Mashiach. But Hebrew, we're going to be going back to our language, man. The same way how these other nations got their languages. How you hear, y'all know what I'm talking about, Israel. When y'all go into the Chinese store and you hear DJ talk about ni hama, she ni. You hear about them Africans talking that. That's a language, like,
right.
That's a language to some African dialect, man. And guess what? We are going to come back to our language, man.
Right.
We're going to be coming back to Hebrew. So to those saying it's not important to learn our language, man, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Which goes to show you, man, that they ain't qualified to teach blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation men and women. Read it again from the top.
For then will I turn to the people a pure language.
Mm-hmm.
That they may all call upon the name of the Lord.
They may all call upon the name of the Lord, man. It's going to come a time when we come back to our language, man, and we're going to call upon the name of the Lord. Read on.
To serve him with one consent.
To serve him with one consent. It's going to come a day where everyone is going to serve our God, man. Serve our power. Now, if I could, let's switch cameras because on this switch cameras. Bear with us 1 second. Israel having technical difficulty. Just a technical difficulty with the camera. Bear with us, for sure. Y'all can still hear me. Now, understand this, Israel. You know what I mean? Why y'all can still hear me. It's important to know this because, you know, here in America, they tell us, you know what I mean, these things are important. And they very much are. They very much are important because if we don't understand, if we have an inheritance, that we have a culture, we are going to be destined to continue to fall down the same rabbit hole that we've been in. And what rabbit hole is that? I'll tell you, following after these heathen nations, man. Being caught up with them. Can't be doing that, black man, First Nation man, Hispanic man, and woman. I pray you understand. Bear with me. Hold up. If you about to be back in the game, camera by most time Christ. Hold up. Bear with me. This is stretch over here. Why that camera? So lock in for the technical difficulty. Bringing the screen back now. Had to switch cameras. Bring it back. There we go. Now, there's gonna come a time, right? Well, we're gonna be in our own land, Israel. We're going to be in our own land, following our laws, statutes, and commandments that our power, that our God gave us. Now, if I could, is understand this, man, because I know a lot of our people believe, man, that these other nations can be saved, and that's not true. That ain't true, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. Understand. What we need to understand, man, is that our God is our God. He's our Father. He's not everybody's Father. What we need to understand, first off, and first important, is to understand this. We make every excuse in the world, right, to try to serve these heathen nations, to try to follow after their customs, to do the things that they do. And that's not what we're supposed to do as the Lord shows us. It's not. We try to, give our salvation to everybody, to a people that can't stand us. But we are people that have been robbed and spoiled, man. We've been robbed and spoiled here in America. We don't even understand who we are, what's our identity, what's our language, first of all. You know what I mean? And what's heavy about it, what we need to understand, like, as the Lord's people, is that it's essential for us to come back to these things. It's essential for us to come back to our customs, man. That's how good. We'll get Deuteronomy 6 and 4. I'm going to share it or read it in the Hebrew first. Number 5. We'll read it in the Hebrew. Shalom, you went to class? No, Ignite. We'll put this on the screen. Bear with me. Now, this is the Blue Letter Bible. We're going to read Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 4. I'm going to read it in the Hebrew first, and then I is going to read it in the English. Now, Deuteronomy 6 and 4 says, Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh Akkad. Now, understand this. What did I just say? How could I read Deuteronomy 6 and 4 from me?
Karokah. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Hear, O Israel.
Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel, what?
The Lord our God.
The Lord our God. The Lord our power. God means power. That's the Alahaya, man. Alahaya means power. That's our God, man. Our power. Read on.
Is one Lord.
Is one Lord. Now, understand like how possessive this is, man. This is our God, our Father. He's one God, one Lord. Which means this. We do everything under the sun to try to save and bring in other people when ain't no salvation coming to them, and neither do they deserve it for what they do to our people. It's time for us, more importantly, man, to come out to Christian church, come out to Muslim mosques, and take our power back.
Right.
Come back to our God. Come back to our identity. And why is that so important? I'll explain. It's important because we are really messed up out here, as the Lord showed the people. We are so messed up out here that we don't have any iota, even how to follow the Lord, even if you wanted to. If I could, I'd read Romans 10 and 1 real quick, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you what I mean. What we don't understand, man, is that we don't even understand, like, the basics. We don't. Why do I say that? Why? Here's a question I want you all to ask your pastor and your imam. Something simple that I'm almost positive. I'm willing to bet my entire, $1,400 stimulus check I buy. They couldn't answer this one. Here's the big thing. I challenge y'all to go and tell Pastor Dick them down. Pastor T.D. Snakes, T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar. I want you to ask Joel Osteen. What's the Lord's name? Right. What's the Lord's name? What's the Most High name? You go to church every Sunday, right? I'm pretty sure, right? Everybody goes to church every Sunday. You go and see your imam every Saturday or Sunday, right? And you in there, our people are so destroyed that by sitting up there in the Muslim mosque talking about Salaam Alaikum. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. But we don't understand, man. That ain't our language neither, man. We ain't Arabs. We not descendants of Ishmael, man. We descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Got silly Negroes up in the Muslim mosque, man, talking about that my name is Abdul Rahim Suleiman Khalid Ahmed the Magnificent. Man, they better cut that out. Right. You better cut that out and come into the I.S.U.P.K and come back to your real identity. You got 4 sisters right now that's getting ready to take their shahada right now. Right now. Right. And which is so heavy about it, man, our people go to the Muslim mosques and you go to these churches and you don't even understand or comprehend the basics. Now, contrary to what you probably have been taught, right? The Lord's name is not Jehovah. It's not Yahweh. It's not Yah. I cannot stand it, right, when they be on the Twitter and they be like, well, I praise Yah. Yah is my Father. I'll be like, whoo. He even got Kendrick Lamar talking about, that song, Yah. You know what I mean? I was in the world, like, I thought that was a powerful song. He talking about Yah. I had a sister tell me, well, do you know Yah? I said, what you mean? I said, how do you know Yah? I said, that nigga only 8 years old, man. Talking about my brother's son. You know what I mean? The Lord's name is not Yah. Now, first, the Lord's name is Yahweh. Write the Lord's name down. Going to some words today. Now, my language ain't like Bahaya. Got better language, got a better handwriting than you. This is the Lord's name. Yah. What? Yah. And then what? Now, the connectors you see, right? Meaning this Yah is single. That Ha is single. And the Wah and the Ha is connected. Yahweh. This is the Lord's name. Now I know you're sitting up in the church, you're thinking the Lord's name is Yahweh, think it's Yah. Even J. Cole was talking about, I said it to Yahweh. I had so many brothers want to be like, yo, you guy, did you see that? Yo, man, you need to listen to J. Cole. You need to go listen to Kendrick. My homie in the world, like Bobby, telling me, talking about, well, you need to go listen to Kendrick cousin Carl, man. That brother right there, he know he an Israelite, he a teacher. I'm like, nigga, I'm who cousin Carl want to be. I'm exactly who he portrays himself to be, and better. And so is Ibad, so is every priest and prophet in the I.S.U.P.K under command of GEN.YAHANNA. And if it's not under command of GEN.YAHANNA, you're not in the truth, man.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand this. I'm just going to say it. 12 Shield General Yaka Allah said all the time. The I.S.U.P.K is the daddy of every fake Israelite group out there. Right. Even y'all that like to go up in those strip clubs and ask bottle girls, the worker girls, if they sing. Even y'all like the masquerade in the purple, like your white daddy, the Romans and the triumphant, and do the marches too. We your daddy too.
Right.
Just disobedient children, man. Even with some of y'all that wear the white and think that you holy, thinking that you sanctified, even letting devils in their congregation, like by this night, talk about the Lord's name is a higher. The Lord's name is Yahweh. Now, let me explain something. I'm not saying that our people generally don't want to serve the Lord. I'll never say that. Generally, I believe all of our people naturally want to get close to the Most High, but they don't know how to do it. And if I could, read what you got. Read Romans the 10th chapter.
Okay. This is the book of Romans, chapter 10, and verse 1. Brother, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved.
Now, Paul is saying, brethren, it is my heart's desire, my mind's desire, man. Paul was a hardcore brother, man. Paul is saying this. Paul is saying, I'd rather be the only fake Israelite out here so that my people, my brethren, who are Paul's brethren? We Paul's brethren, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. We Paul's brethren, man. Paul was a Benjamite brother, like my brother Ibad, man. Of the tribe of Benjamin, man. The West Indians, man. Understand this, man. Paul will be a Jamaican, a brother from Trinidad and Tobago, St. Clarence, St. Thomas, St. Lucia, man.
Right.
They Israelites, man. And we're Israelites. If you black here in America, you are the tribe of Judah, man. If you coming out of Mexico, you know what I mean, Hispanic man and woman, you are the tribe of Issachar. From Honduras to Panama, man, you the tribe of Zebulon, the Balawan in the Hebrew, man. But they're going to write the tribe down. They're going to get you to write the tribe down, too. We can do that as well. Understand this, man. Paul is saying, read it again.
Okay. Brother, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is?
Israel is, man. Brethren. We are Paul's brothers. Read on.
That they might be saved.
That they might be saved, man. And we're going to show you that we ain't like those fake Israelite group, man, praying that the 2/3 die. We understand that the Lord said that the 2/3 must go. But we pray to the Most High, man. We pray to Yahweh, man, that the Lord has mercy on Israel. Like he said in Isaiah 45:17, that all Israel may be saved, man. That all of Israel may be saved, man. We pray that the Lord turn away from his wrath like he did with Moses. The Lord was going to make a nation out of Moses, man. Feel that for me. Understand that the type of brother Moses was, man. And Moses was of the tribe of Levi. The Levites today are the so-called Haitians, man. Moses was an excellent brother, man. And I'm going to tell you something. It had been me. Oh, man, I'm telling you. The Lord told Moses, I'm going to make a nation out of you. Moses, man, came down. He ain't been going, 10 minutes? He ain't been going 10 minutes, and here we out there making a golden calf, wanting to go back to Egypt. The Lord was furious with us, man, like a good father and a great father should be. The Lord was going to destroy us, man, and make a nation out of Moses. But Moses said, please, Lord, remember Abraham, remember Isaac, remember Jacob. And the Lord turned away from his wrath, man. Don't you think the Lord can turn away from his wrath, man, and save all of Israel? I pray all the Israelites, man, all us blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation men and women get on that chariot, man. I'm saying this, I'm lucky I wasn't Moses. Guess what? The Lord told me I would make a nation out of Yediah. Y'all all would have been called Yediah. You've been Yediah by Yahweh. Abad, you've been Yediah. Everybody would have been Yediah. But Moses was a better brother than I. And that's the type of brother that we strive to be here in the I.S.U.P.K, man. We pray that all Israel is saved, man. That all of us make it on them chariots, man. And that's the type of brother Paul is. Paul is saying, I'd rather be the only Lashawan, salami, eggs, and bacon. Paul is saying, I'd rather be that brother. I'd rather be that brother that got the gay teeth, that got the gay dress on. What do I mean by the gay dress? You wearing the t-shirt with the fringes on. That's not your border, dum-dum. It wasn't doing that back at the whole time, man. That's not one of us. That's something that you created, man. The little dresses that y'all be wearing, man, with them shirts and them fringes, man, embarrassing yourselves, man. Right. Paul is saying, I'd rather be that brother for all of my brothers to come into this truth, man. Read on.
That was God. Verse 2. For I bear them record.
For I bear them what? Understand this. Paul is saying, I'm going to bear them record, man. Paul was a heavy brother, man, who gave a damn about our people, man. Paul said in Romans, the 9th chapter, that he was a curse for Christ. You know what I mean? He's saying right here that it's my heart's desire, my mind's desire, that all Israel can be saved, man. That all of us can make it. Read on, for I bear them record.
That they had a zeal of God.
They have a what?
Zeal of God.
What does it mean to have a zeal of God? What does it mean to have a zeal of God? Meaning naturally, you want to get close to the Most High. You want to serve the Lord. Well, I understand. We all have that natural zeal. If you black, Hispanic, or First Nation, we the Israelites in antiquity. We supposed to want to get close to the Lord. Read on.
Come, but not according to knowledge.
But not according to what?
Knowledge.
But not according to knowledge. Not according to knowledge. Meaning this. Because you think you're going to go find the knowledge of the Lord in the Christian church. But they don't even know the Lord's name. They don't. They have no idea what the Lord's name is, and you think you're going to go in there and learn some knowledge. Now, if they can't tell you that, are they qualified to teach you? No, they're not. They're not qualified to teach you. But you know who it is? Priests and prophets of the UPK is.
Right.
Pray you understand. They ain't qualified to teach you nothing. And understand this too. If you are a young brother coming up in this truth, right? And especially if you're a young sister, hell, if you are a young trooper, man, aspiring to be an officer, don't let nobody in the world tell you a damn thing. And they can't teach you nothing when it comes to this Bible, man. The authority of this Bible is right here in the I.S.U.P.K and the commandments of GEN.YAHANNA. They ain't even know the Lord's name. They're going to tell you it's Yahweh. They're going to tell you that it's Ahia. They're going to tell you that it's what? My missing one, Yahushua. You can forget about our King Yahweh. They butcher our King things all the time, man. Right. Talking about Yeshua and all that. Goes to show you that they don't have any iota. They don't. And why don't they know? I'll explain. Like, give me Jeremiah 50 and verse 6. I'll show you about what happened to our people following after these heathen nations. following after them. We got caught up. We did. We got caught up following after these heathens, man. As a matter of fact, no. Read Jeremiah 14. You mind reading Jeremiah 14:2 in the Hebrew right by?
No.
Let me put that on the screen. Have my mind read that for me. Oh. Bring that up in the blue letter Bible. Then we're going to put the tribes up. Make sure y'all got any questions, Israel type of men. Mm-hmm. See if I can pull this up. There we go. Bear with me. Got it, Bob.
Okay. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2 in the Hebrew. Abalah, Yahawada, Wa Sha'iriyah, Amalawa, Kauka, Kwa Darwa, La Arataza,
You know.
Wataza, Wakaf, Yara, Washlam, Slaki, Yorash Shalom, Slaki, Yorash Shalom, Alatha.
That Hebrew. Now, read Jeremiah 14, verse 2 in the English for us, Baba Kushal.
Kauka. Judah, morning.
Now, Judah, mourning. Who is in mourning? Judah is in mourning, man. Judah is in mourning. Who is Judah? Who is Judah? We are Judah, black man and woman. We are the tribe of Judah. Read on.
And the gates thereof languish.
And the gates thereof languish. Meaning this, what is a gate used for? A gate is used for protection. Understand this, man. What is the protection of blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation men and women? I'll wait. What's the protection? Christian church, Muslim mosques. Goes to show you, man, that our gates languish. Our gates have been caught lacking. That's the term that we use out there in the world about we've been caught lacking out here, man.
Right.
Because we don't have strong leadership outside of the I.S.U.P.K. Read them.
Praise God. They are black.
They are what?
Black.
They are black. They are black. Meaning this, the Jews are what?
Black. The
Jews are black. Understand this, man. That we're the Jews, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. We're the Jews of antiquity. We're the Israelites, the so-called oppressor that calls himself a Jew and will never be a Jew. He ain't a Jew, but we're the real Jews, man.
Right.
Read it again.
Kawakah. They are black unto the ground.
They are what?
Black unto the ground.
They are black unto the ground, man. We are black unto the ground, meaning this. We are black. Now, what do you mean by black unto the ground? Let me explain what black unto the ground is.
Right.
Black unto the ground, if you break the ground up, right? If you break the ground up, you'll have different derivatives of black and brown. Meaning we come in different shapes and sizes, all different colors. You can forget about it, man. That's us. That's how you know who the real Jews are. Black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. If I could, I'd go to the board and put the tribes in.
Okay.
tribes up for Republic with Shaw.
One at a time, sir, or?
Come, one at a time. Give me Judah first. Give me Yahweh. Give me Yahweh. I'm going to go through each tribe. Bear with me. Sure if y'all got any questions. Type them in. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Assyrians.
You could put the Assyrian up there. You could put the Assyrian up there for sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I went to the whole Genesis, the 49th chapter. We're going to go into the tribe's characteristics.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, first, we have Yahweh. Now, understand this. Yahweh. This is us, black man and woman here in America. We are of the tribe of Judah. This is who we are. Yah-ha-wah-dah. Son of Christ. Now, this is who we are. This is our tribe, black man and woman here in America. The so-called Negroes. We are the Judites. Now, who are prominent Judites that we know of? Christ. Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shah. He's of the tribe of Judah, man. Scripture say that our Lord sprang out of Judah. Got King David. Got Solomon, man.
Right.
Understand this. Now, Peter.
Right.
Well, we need to understand, right, that this is who we are. Not black. We're not Negro. You know what I mean? This is who we are. Yahweh. Meaning Judah. Now, read Genesis 49.
Okay. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, and verse 1.
Now, bear with me real quick. I'm going to jump around. Go to start at Genesis 49 and verse 8.
Okay. Sir, can I read verse 1 for context?
Come on, go ahead. Read verse 1 for context.
Okay. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Now, our forefather Jacob, Israel, Lashawan, he's getting ready to tell us, his sons, which is us, what is going to befall us in the up and coming days. We're going.
Okay. Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Judah.
Yahweh, that's us. So-called Negroes, black man and woman. Read.
Thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Thou art he who thy brethren shall praise, man. Now, thou art he who thy brethren shall praise. Now, understand this, man. All the 12 tribes of Israel, man, we are the children of the Most High, man. We all sprang out of Jacob. But there's something about you.
Right.
Everybody seems to follow after Judah. Like, Judah's the trendsetter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, Judah's the one, you know what I mean, that prevailed. You know what I mean? That rose over his brothers, man. Now, understand that if he rose over his brothers, man, he gained favor. Like the one that all the brothers and tribes looked up to. Like Judah is that brother, man, that cool brother, man. Everybody like, man, Judah fixes it. Judah, man. That's him. Now understand this, man. Even you see it here in America, who thy brethren shall praise. When I say Judah's the trendsetter, I mean, you put that back, you put that baseball cap on backwards, you can forget about it, man. You can forget about it, even, you know what I mean, and how we roll, our style, and how we carry ourselves, man. Read on.
Thy head shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
Read that again.
Thy head shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
We are in the neck of our enemies. And who is our enemy? The oppressor. The oppressor, the white man, the white race, Edom, our one in the Hebrew, man.
Right.
We are under the necks of these other nations, man, of these heathens. They got their foot specifically right there. We in the heart of it, man. They cannot stand us here in America. And our people think we can be free white 21, but we think we can be free white 21 and live like the. No, we cannot.
Right.
We can't. Read that again.
Of God. Thy head shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
My hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Read on.
And, thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
Read on.
Verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp.
Judah is a lion's whelp. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Meaning this, man. Understand that our Lord, our King, Yahweh Shah sprang out of Judah, man.
Right.
Everyone is going to bow down to our King, Yahweh Shah. He sprang out of Judah, man. Like I said, Judah is that cool brother that everybody looked up to and said, man, that's it. That's Judah. Don't make me go, you know what I mean? Like, right. Now, and it said, Judah is a lion's whelp. Read on.
From the prey, my son, thou art gone up.
Thou art going up, man. Judah is a lion's whelp. From my prey, read on.
He stooped down. He couched as a lion.
And he couched as a lion. Read on.
And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
Who's going to rouse up that old lion? Who is going to rouse Judah up, man? Don't you understand, man? The black man, when we've been a sleeping, now is the time to really wake up from sleep. And not just us, all of the tribes, man, and come back to our identity. We like an old lion out here. Who's going to rouse us up? Because we are at the neck. We are in the neck of our enemies, man. Facing oppression everywhere we walk. It's hard being a brother in America, man.
Right.
Hard out here for us, man. Who's going to rouse us up? Who's going to rouse up that lion, man? Well, I tell you what, the I.S.U.P.K and the commander GEN.YAHANNA is rousing up that lion in Judah.
Right.
You better believe that. Read on.
Verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah.
The scepter shall not depart from Judah. Read on.
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet.
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet. Now, what is the lawgiver between his feet? I'll be shocked if somebody can get this. The lawgiver between his feet. What goes to show you, man, what goes to show you what you're so heavy about. I remember when General Haas Young was breaking this down, man. You know what I mean? Captain Zaryak was breaking this out last night across the line radio. Big shout out to Captain 13,000 Zaryak. He also killed him, you know what I mean, in that clubhouse. They like to say, well, you know, Mary is also from Judah, she's from David, and they not in the Bible. You can't prove that, man. You can't prove, you know what I mean? Because they like to say, you know what I mean, they like to believe in Immaculate Conception like Bible, which we know is garbage, man. You know what I mean? We know that comes from Greece and Rome and Egypt. You know what I mean? They get that from what? Horus and Osiris. Slightly, nah. Yeah, they say that Osiris can't get Horus and Osiris. Yeah, that's it. Horus and Osiris and other little deities from God. Forget about that. Understand this, man. That lawgiver that's between his feet, what's between Judah's feet? What's between Judah's feet? His rod, man. Joseph comes from Judah, man. Our King Yahweh Shah comes from Judah, man. There's a lawgiver between his feet. What's between the feet of Judah, man? That's right. Understand this. Now, they also like to say, well, Mary came from Judah. Well, you cannot prove that. It's nowhere in the Bible. Now, the only thing that you can assume on is that Mary is Elizabeth's cousin. Now, Elizabeth, you know what I mean, is the mother of John the Baptist. John the Baptist was of the tribe of Levi. So the best you can say to make that assumption is that Mary could be a Levite. But you cannot prove that she's of the house of Judah, man. Right. It said, no, a lawgiver between his feet, man. It's between a man's feet and his bride. That's how you know that Christ, you know what I mean, came from Judah, man. Christ came from Joseph. Christ had a father, man, in Joseph, man.
Right.
And Joseph is of the lineage of Judah, man. Is that it?
No, sir.
Read it.
Until Shiloh comes.
Until Shiloh comes. Who's Shiloh? Who's Shiloh? That's our king, man. Yahweh Mashiach. Until our king comes, man. Read on.
And unto him shall be the gathering of the people be.
Unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Meaning when our king comes, man, Yahweh Mashiach in the Hebrew, when Jesus comes, man, our king, guess what? That's when the gathering of the people is going to be. We're going to be in our kingdom, and it's going to be glorious. Like we read in Zephaniah chapter 3.
Right.
But give me 1 second to get that up. Now, put Benjamin up on the board for me, Bubba, for sure.
There's a little bit more description characteristics on 11 and 12, sir, if you want
Come on, look at
for Judah.
us to wild. Good.
And if I could, sir, there's also characteristics in Deuteronomy 30, chapter 33, if you want it.
Come here. Read Deuteronomy 33 real quick, Bubba, for sure.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, Salakia, and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the blessing of Judah.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Hear, Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people.
Mm-hmm.
Let his hand be sufficient for him, and be thou in help to him from his enemies.
Mm-hmm.
That was it, sir.
Oh, son of Christ, man. And his hands be a help to his shit among his enemies, man, because we are among our enemies to this very day. We have enemies, black man and woman, Hispanic man and woman, First Nation man and woman. We have enemies, and these enemies are the other nations. That's what 3 said by 5. You put Benjamin up on the board for me, Bubba, for sure.
Hello, sir.
John, go ahead. I'll put it up on the board. You get the dope. Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me. Mm-hmm. Make sure y'all got any questions. Make sure y'all type them in for me, but for sure. Type in your questions. All right, I'll get back on to it in a minute. It's too up,
Okay.
Yeah, quiet, okay. Put Benjamin up on the board for me. Shout out. Old Genesis 49. Now, the next tribe is Benjamin. West Indian Islands, man, Bunyamin in the Hebrew. Shalom, Eshpatah, sir.
What my word?
Like, say you went to class?
I know you had.
That's not crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Now,
What's that crazy?
now, well, an officer Ibahaya is right up on the board. Now, this is Benjamin Bunyamin. Now, understand this. If you are black of the West Indian Islands, and I want to bring this out too, if I could. I want to make sure we understand this, because this is what eats me up. Black man and woman of the West Indian Islands, you are not Ashanti.
Right.
You're not. Let me get that out real quick. You are not Ashanti. You don't have to pray to Anansi or none of them African deities, man. Understand this, man. We've been so robbed and stripped of our culture. We don't know who the hell we are, man. When you don't understand that this is your name, man. Benjamin, man. Don't you understand? Don't you understand, Israel? You too busy wanting to go and give honor and praise, you know what I mean, to these heathens, but they don't give a damn about us, man. They don't. And how do you know that they don't give a damn about us? I will never stop bringing this out, Israel. I have to do it. So, in 2016, right, I'm going to say that to Levi, but understand this. Last year during the coronavirus, right, during the Most High first sent this plague down and was sending it all throughout the earth and to and fro, and the Delta variant was still eating up the oppressor and these heathen nations. Guess what? When the Chinese, right, were oppressing the so-called Africans in China, the Africans got together and airlifted every African out of China. I said, well, goddamn, my Bob. The Africans love their people. Now, West Indian brothers and sisters, if you're Africans, when are the Africans going to come and airlift you out of Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, St. Thomas? When are the Africans going to come and airlift you out of there? Right. You know why they're not? Because you're not Africans, man. You are not. You're not African. This is your identity right here. Ban, Yum, Yun. Understand this, man. Son of the right, the so-called West Indians. You know who's some West Indian brothers, man? The Benjamites. Paul was a Benjamite, man. Paul was a Benjamite, powerful priest and prophet, man. Commander GEN.YAHANNA is of the tribe of Benjamin, man. Captain Mashak Mayum. Captain 95. Man, I man. Is of the tribe of Benjamin. My big brother, man. Priest of Officer Yashima of the tribe of Benjamin, man. Now, if I could, give me in Genesis, right? Where it talks about Benjamin. Well, for sure. Right. And I'll break that down for me.
Oh God. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 27. Mm-hmm. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf.
What does Benjamin shall raven as a wolf mean? Now, I ain't gonna lie, Israel. I love ravens. I do. Well, I get it. Now, I love brothers like now, and I'm Molly, like, I'm talking about Barrington Levy. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? I'm talking about Barrington Levy. I'm broader than Broadway. I'm talking about, hey, Chapman, I'm talking about the Benjamin. You know what I mean? Like, bye. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. I don't know if y'all understand, man. Shabba rights. A lot of y'all know, man, you like them old school UPK, you know what I mean, videos. You hear Heart of a Lion by Shabba Ranks. That's raving as a wolf, man. Because Benjamin, they put their soul into that reggae, man. Right? They call the Lord Jah. The Lord name ain't Jah. Forget about that. It ain't Jehovah. It ain't Jah. It ain't Yah. It ain't Yahweh. It ain't none of that. But they cry their souls out of their music, man. Raving as a wolf, man. Putting their spirit in their music, man. That's the Benjamin raving as a wolf. You know.
Oh God.
And also, man, Benjamin got an explosive personality. You better believe it. You better believe that. You think Judah is arrogance? I mean, listen, I'm a Judah. I'm of the tribe of Judah, man. And you know that. I don't think there's anything that comes close to the arrogance of a brother of the tribe of Judah. But don't get it twisted. Don't get it messed up. All Benjamite brothers and sisters, they rough. They rough, especially with that patois, you forget about it. The strong accent, let me tell you something, man. They be out there giving it to them, man. Pick up the Commander GEN.YAHANNA, man. Pick up the Captain Mashak by Young Captain 95, man. They be out there raving as a Bashir I can't, man. I be out there blazing. Understand this, man. That's who we are. This is our identity, man. And the sad thing is, a lot of our brothers and sisters, off by youngins, right? Benjamin, you get caught up in the customs of the heathen. Let me explain. First, I'll start with the dreadlocks. Dreadlocks is not an Israelite custom. It's not a Benjamite custom either. Let me explain for a minute. Dreadlocks come from the East Indians, Elam. Dreadlocks come from their goddess or god, Shiva. You know, it was a transsexual. She was a transformer. Shiva was a transformer as well. Now, you combine the nappy dreadlocks, and then you combine that, you know what I mean, with Haile Selassie, you know what I mean, and him coming over there, and just because it was a drought and rain, now you're taking the East Indian customs, and you're taking an African, a Cushite, an Amite, Ethiopian, and you make them your god. Thus you have Rastafarianism, man. Which goes to show you, man, how destroyed we are as a people. We not African. We not East Indian, man. Tribe of Benjamin, you gotta let them dreadlocks go, man. You gotta let them dreadlocks go. You gotta let the weed go, too. Weed is also an East Indian custom, man. Right. Weed is prevalent amongst the East Indians, man. Elam, you know what I mean? I come in the Hebrew, man. Prevalent amongst them, man. We taking on the customs of these heathens. What goes to show you that the West Indians gotta be Bunyan. Gotta be Benjamin, man, the son of the right. Because you taking on the characteristic of these heathens, man, destroyed out there, man. Well, understand this, man, you ain't none of those things that the heathen want us to be, man. Our people going through hell and still going through hell. You know who the oppressor is in Trinidad and Tobago? It's the East Indians. It's Elam. And guess what? It's a lot of them that masquerade like us and they not us. I'll give you one. Nicki Minaj, right? Nicki Minaj is not an Israelite. Her father is an Elamite, man. He's East Indian, which makes Nicki Minaj East Indian. She like to talk about that Trinidadian. She ain't no Israelite. Her mama is, and her mother was wrong for living with that heathen man, man. Right. You ain't supposed to do that. You ain't supposed to, man. You ain't supposed to marry no heathens, man. Our mother is an Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin, but Nicki Minaj is not. She's a heathen, man. The tribe, she's an Elam. She's an East Indian, man. Right. Oh my God, there ain't more on that.
Oh God. And in the morning he shall devour the prey.
In the morning he shall devour the prey. Read on.
And at night he shall divide the spoil.
Listen, man, he shall devour the prey. I'll give you another history lesson a lot of our brothers and sisters don't know about. When our brothers and sisters were dropped off in the West Indian Islands, I would say this about Benjamin. Benjamin ain't no pushover, man. Let me tell you something about Benjamin. If I aspire, if I know where I'm about to go, the oppressor caught hell on them islands, man. There was a lot of slave revolts, and guess what? Judah wasn't the only one rebelling with men like Denmark Beasley, man. Men like, you know what I mean, Nat Turner. Sisters like Harriet Tubman. Benjamin was getting it in with Esau as well. Benjamin wasn't playing with the British, man. Wasn't playing with them. He said, man, they devoured their prey. They was coming at the oppressor, man. And what makes it so heavy, man, and that's why we went into this story Monday in Black Watch on how Benjamin is seeking reparations from the oppressor over there and that whore, that queen. This queen means whore in England, man. The hell with the queen, man. The hell with her. The hell with England. So-called Britain, Great Britain. Understand that the Lord is going to destroy them for what they done to our brothers and sisters, man. The West Indian Islands, man, of Benjamin. They're going to devour the prey. It's going to come a time, man, where they're going to devour the oppressor again. Right. Our brothers, we're going to devour them again. And divide the spoil, man. Guess what? They're not going to get away with what they did to our brothers and sisters, man. Put economic sanctions on them. Forget about that. The Lord got something planned for them. Is that it on that?
I got that's in the verse of Genesis. I got one in Deuteronomy.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, 33 and verse 12. And of Benjamin, he said, the beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him.
The love of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him. That's self-explanatory. Read on.
And the Lord shall cover him all the day long.
And the Lord shall cover him all the day long. Read on.
And he shall dwell between his shoulders.
And he shall dwell between his shoulders, man. Understand this, man. We are the Israelites, man. Tribe of Benjamin of the West Indian Islands. Now it's time to wake up, man. We're going. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Now, if I could, let me get Levi in there.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna break some of this out with Benjamin, but I gotta break this out for Levi.
Oh, God.
We could be all day for Levi, but.
Oh, God.
Hey, something you said? What you doing back there, sir? Making transactions? Making transactions, sir?
Get your shirts, Israel.
Get these shirts. I hope we got some 2X's back then. Because I ain't see none.
He racist.
Ain't he?
That's your brother.
He don't even wear a 2X. Ain't he crazy?
That's your brother.
You know what I mean?
That's your brother.
Let's get back on track.
Right.
Now, this is Levi. This is lawyer. Now, who are the Levites today? I'll tell you. The so-called Levites today are the so-called Haitians. Now, we can be on this. We might do Levi all day. Matter of fact, put Simeon up here. Put Simeon up here. Yeah, put Simeon up here. Let's keep it on Levi for a minute. Now, I'll bring out Simeon a little bit when we get there. Understand this, man. Lawyer, Levi. Who are the Levites today? So-called Haitians.
That's right.
Now, that's what I was going to bring out earlier. In 2016, are you aware in May of 2016 that Haiti tried to join Africa's Union? And you know what the Africans said to Haiti? You're not African enough. Ain't that something like God? Ain't that something? They told our brothers and sisters, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you got to put plenty in your lip.
Got to put plenty in your lip. They said, excuse me, Mr. Levi, you are not African. You are not African. You are a kata. You are a kata. You are not our people. You are like them niggas in the West Indian Islands. You are like them niggas in America. Oh, to show you, man, that the Futu, Ngana, and the Black Panther, they don't love you, man. And to show you that they don't love you, look at the hell that Haiti is going through right now, man. Look at the hell that our brothers and sisters are living in right now in Haiti, man. You know what Haiti means? The French named Haiti hell. Why, sir? Named it hell. And you tried to, you know what I mean, you tried to get out of hell. So, for extra dust. Oh, it's like,
Yeah, that's right.
you gonna come here, you roll too?
Come on, sir, boy.
Okay. We got about to roll too. Anyway, understand this, man. We are in hell, man. In hell in Haiti. And it goes to show you this. What our people don't understand, these Africans are not the same as us Haitian man and woman of the tribe of Levi. There ain't no light, it seems like in Haiti, but it is. It is. Under the Most High Christ, man. So you got Commander GEN.YAHANNA raising up brothers. Big shout out to Priest and Officer of 5,000 Yachtazar, my lawyer, man. Officer Yachtazar is out there, you know, in Haiti, man, building Haiti up out of New York, man, building them up. Got 2 troopers out there and everything, man. What we need to understand, man, is that we got to come back to our identity, man. Levi, lawyer in the Hebrew, we're the so-called Haitians. We are not Africans. And look at the hell our people are going through over there, man. Going through all types of turmoil. And assassinated their president, which is a common thing. Like, you know what I mean? Assassinate their leaders. I didn't even know that. I was not the thought that came here today. But what goes to show you, man, that you're not going to get an extension from help from the oppressor or from the Africans, man. You're not going to get it. And why we're not going to get it, you got to understand that because we are the Israelites of antiquity. And it ain't just Haiti going through the same thing. We all going through this hell, man.
Right.
But it's important to understand, man, because, you know what I mean, everybody looks down on our brothers and sisters, man. Everybody looks down on our brothers and sisters and say, oh, man, even Trump said that Haiti is a shithole country. So lock in for the language, man. You see how they treat us and how they feel about us, black man, Hispanic man, and woman? This is how they feel. And why it's important, man, to come back to our identity. So-called Haitian man and woman, you are the tribe of Levi. You are the tribe of Loya. Loya in the Hebrew, man. Now read what you got in Genesis.
Listen, from Genesis to the 49 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Simeon and Levi.
Now, Simeon and Levi, not just Levi, Simeon as well. The so-called Simeonites, like Lashawan in the Hebrew, they're the so-called Dominicans. Now, I want you to understand something that's prevalent about Haiti and the Dominican Republic. They're together. Same island. The island of Espanol. Real.
Instruments of cruelty.
Instruments of what?
Cruelty.
Instruments of cruelty. What are those instruments of cruelty? Voodoo. What the Haitians use? Voodoo. What is it the Dominicans use? Santeria. Now, those are the instruments of cruelty. When I read this like about, I say, God damn, man, this is the truth. This is who the tribe of Levi and who the tribe of Simeon are. The Haitians and the Dominicans, man. Instruments of cruelty. Voodoo and Santeria. They're instruments of cruelty, man. Right.
Are in their habitation.
Voodoo is in Haiti. Forget about it. They do it. If I witch doctors over there, you know what I mean, in Haiti and the Dominican Republic, you can forget about it. Read on.
Verse 6. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly. Mine honor, be not thou united.
Be not thou united. Meaning, are they united right now with Haiti and the Dominican Republic? It's the same island, I buy. The island of Espanol, are they united? No. No. Hell no, man. Because they believe that they're not the same and they're brothers, man. We all are brothers of the 12 tribes of Israel. Right. Levi and Simeon, man, you are brothers, man. Levi, meaning the Haitians, man, Loya, and Simeon, man, and Dominicans, man. I wanted the Hebrew. Read on.
For in their anger they slew a man.
Now, in their anger, they slew a man. What did they do? Levi and Simeon, man, slew a bunch of Africans because one of them Hamites raped our sister, man, Dinah, man. Now, it wasn't just the 12 tribes of Israel. Think about a daughter, too, man, Dinah. She was beautiful. And that Hamite, disgusting African, raped her, man. And Levi and Simeon said, oh, yeah? They give my Captain Kyle, oh, yeah? That's what they did. They went out there and said, yo, we're going to join under us. We're going to circumcise y'all. And, you know, they circumcised all them Hamites. They walking around like this, like, oh, man, all messed up. And then Levi and Simeon went down there and was like, boop, 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 chopping heads off, man. And they anger, they slew, man. Read on.
And in their self-will, they dig down a wall. Verse 7. Curse be their anger.
Curse be their anger, man, because they didn't follow the instruction of their father, Jacob, man. Our forefather, Lashawan. Jacob was going to go to the Lord, man, and handle it a different way. Levi and Simeon said, to hell with all that. We're taking this in our own battles, man. Now our brothers and sisters are cursed, man. Cursed. Now it's time for Levi and Simeon to come together. And here in the I.S.U.P.K, the Commander GEN.YAHANNA, you see it, man. Shout out to Officer of 5,000, Qadash, man. An officer of 500, and the camp leader, the camp leader of Haiti is officer of 5,000, Qadash. And big shout out to him, and big shout out to the camp leader of the Dominican Republic, our priest officer of 500, Officer Soccer War, man. Blacks, you know, and Hispanics is uniting here in the UPK. Haiti, you know what I mean, and the Dominican Republic are uniting here in the UPK. I pray you understand. Here you go.
For it was fierce.
And it was what?
Fierce.
It was fierce. That anger was fierce, man. Read on. Are there any more?
Come God. And their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob.
I will what?
Divide them in Jacob.
That's it. Read that again.
I will divide them in Jacob.
I will divide them in Jacob. What does that mean? I will divide them in Jacob. Let me explain what I will divide them in Jacob means. Meaning they are divided in Israel, man. Levi and Simeon ain't together. Right. They're not together right now. They divided, going at each other, man. They telling turmoil in both countries, man. So what would happen if they came together? What would happen if Benjamin and Levi came together? It's like if Levi and Simeon came back together, man. I pray you understand. I pray you understand. You see it right here in the UPK. Right. We gathering our tribes back together, man. We coming back together to serve the Most High Christ, man. Here in the UPK, we're going.
And scattered them in Israel.
And scattered them in Israel. We scattered in Israel right now, man. We got scattered abroad. There any more on that?
That was in Genesis. You want Deuteronomy, sir?
Now you can read Levi and Deuteronomy. Then I believe it's Ephraim that's next.
Um,
No, it's about Zebulon, right?
it's Simeon.
Oh, it is Simeon. Simeon's next. Then Zebulon, right?
Come on.
Nah, we can get Simeon. As a matter of fact, that's perfect. Give me one to Deuteronomy, then we can go to Simeon.
Come on. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 8. And of Levi, he said, let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with the Holy One, whom thou didst prove at Massa, and with whom thou didst strive at the waters of Meribah. Verse 9. Who said unto his father and to his mother, I have not seen him, neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children, for they have observed thy word and kept thy covenant.
I understand this, man. What Levi did, which was so heavy, man, what the sons of Aaron did, they decided to stand up, you know what I mean, join unto the Lord. They became the priests, man. They became the priesthood.
Right. Verse 10. They shall teach Jacob thy judgments.
They shall teach Jacob thy what?
Judgments.
They shall teach Jacob thy judgments, man. Aaron's sons got up there, man, and joined themselves to the Most High, man, and became the priesthood of the Lord. Now we know, you know what I mean, now it's so all of us can be priests, black man, Hispanic man, and woman of the 12 tribes, you know what I mean, under the priesthood of Melchizedek, because Levi paid tithes to Melchizedek through Abraham, man. Right. And this right here is letting you know, man, that Levi was supposed to teach their brethren, man. You had many prominent Levites out there, man. You had, you know, Moses, Aaron. They were so-called Haitians, man. Elijah, you know, John the Baptist. Man, Haitian brothers, Haitian brothers out here, man. Algeria of the tribe of Levi, man. A Haitian sister, man. Understand this, man. It's important for us to come back to who we are and our identity, and it's empowering to know, to understand that everybody in this Bible was black and Hispanic and First Nation. Now, we can drop that and you can put Simeon up on the board like that.
God.
Now we're going to go to Simeon. I believe Simeon is the battle axe, right? Go for another few more minutes. Make sure if y'all got any questions, make sure y'all type them in. And what it is, I'll be answering y'all questions tonight. Make sure next Friday y'all tune in the Priest and Officer 5000 Mirage. It's a powerful Hebrew class every Friday. Was it the Water again, Officer 50 Akbar Hayat? For his diligence, man, being patient with the priest. Boom, boom, boom. See y'all up in the class. Now, this is Simeon. My one. Now, you pretty much read Simeon for the most part, but I'll touch on it again. Simeon, you know, with Levi. Now understand, you know, Shema, these are the so-called Dominicans. Dominicans today, the Dominican Republic of, you know what I mean, the Isle of Espanol. You know, like Levi, they share the same island, they got divided. Now, if you're not Dominican black man over here, you know, in the Dominican Republic, you are Shema, man. That's your name, or the tribe of Simeon. And it's important to understand and come back, you know what I mean, to hear, you know, to understand, you know what I mean, who we are. And his name means affliction heard. Affliction heard. That was coming a time, man, when our foremother, Leah, you know, Leah gave birth to Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. Now, it was a time, right, where, you know, Leah was going to do it. You know what I mean? She was praying for sons, man. Lord gave her Reuben. We're going to get the Reuben, Lord, one of the night. Then when she got the Simeon, man, she named the Simeon. My made an affliction heard. And then the Lord heard her affliction, man, and blessed her with Shemaiah, man. Simeon. Understand this, man. You are more than what the conquistador has named you. I know it's rough over there in the DR, the Dominican Republic. A lot like Haiti, man, going through hell out there. But you can take pride in knowing who the hell we are. Understanding what Shemaiah, man, Simeon, affliction heard. Bishop the priest officer of 500, Officer Zaka War, man. He's the camp leader, you know what I mean, the DR, Dominican Republic, man. Raising up brothers and sisters out there in the command of GEN.YAHANNA, man. Shemaiah, Simeon, affliction heard. Now, you ain't got to read Genesis again because we got that. We didn't want to do Deuteronomy for Simeon. If we could, I thought.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, Salakia, and verse, Salakia, I'm looking for a second. The exact verse.
No sweat. No sweat. This wasn't the same with Levi, was it? No, it wasn't. It was 1 second, Israel. But even so, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman, it's important for us to understand, man, this, that we have now come back to our identity and who we are as the Lord's chosen people. And as the Lord's chosen people, it's important for us to know, you know what I mean, our culture and our identity, man. Affliction heard. Don't see anybody, right?
Sorry, I can't find something.
Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. Understand this, man. Even during that time, Simeon grew up within the Southern Kingdom anyway. You know, besides Judah. Now, what is heavy about it, we need to understand, I believe that there was also Babylon. Now, which is heavy for our people, man, to understand that if you are Dominican, now is the time more than ever to unite with your brothers and your sisters, man. And it starts with you coming back together with your brothers and sisters of the tribe of Levi, Simeon. Get back with your Asian brothers and sisters. And here in the UPK, we doing that, man. We bringing our people back together. Now, if I could, let's go to, I believe it's Zebulon.
Carnival.
Try to end with that one.
Carnival time.
Now we're going to Zebulon, meaning Zabalon in the Hebrew. Who is the tribe of Zebulon today? The tribe of Zebulon today would be from Panama to Honduras, I believe, right? Guatemala to Panama. Guatemalans, Hondurans, hell, Yaquab is of the tribe. Yaquab, who was just in here, man. He's the Dalawan, man. Zebulon. You know what I mean? From Guatemala to Panama. Honduras being in the middle, man. Zebulon. It's a Balawan in the Hebrew. Now, which is heavy, for me, like our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Issachar. I don't think we're going to be able to get Issachar tonight. But understand this, right? When it comes with Zebulon, I need y'all to understand this. And go to show you. I want to speak to our people, man, that like to say, well, the 12 tribe chart is all black. They are all black. Because black is a condition, man. Black just don't just encompass us. Black also encompasses Hispanics and Native American Indians, man. We all black. Now understand this, man. Africans, man, they can never be Zebulon. They can never be the Northern Kingdom, man. Because same curses, you know what I mean, that's afflicted our brothers and sisters, man, of the Northern Kingdom, man. You know what I mean, the tribe of Zebulon, from, you know what I mean, from Guatemala to Panama, that's not happening to the Africans. That ain't happening to them. Are you aware? The Lashawan, man, in the Hebrew, Zebulon, from Guatemala to Panama. Are you aware that they are leaving the hellish conditions, man, of Guatemala, you know what I mean, and of Honduras and of Panama, and they get over here to the United States, man, and come to the land of the free, home of the brave. And guess what happens? They are met with the same force that Issachar is met with, the same force that Asher is met with, man. The same force, you know what I mean, that all the tribes of Israel is met when they come over here, man. They lock our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Zebulon up in cages, man, and take their babies, man, and sell them off into sex trafficking. List them as undocumented and then tell us, well, we just lost their kids. How the hell did you lose over 1,400 kids, man? 1,500 babies. This happens to our people, man. And if you are, you know what I mean, from Guatemala to Panama, you are the tribe of Zebulon. Zebulon, man. That's it in the ancient. That's it in the ancient right here, man. And that's how you pronounce it. Zebulon, Zebulon. Dwell with me, man. Understand this. They are the Lord's chosen people, man. Going through hell right now. Go ahead,
Their standard is the ship. Their standard is the ship.
Their standard is the ship. And guess what? They went on cargo slave ships as well. Don't get it twisted. The Northern Kingdom went on slave ships as well. When the conquistador and when Cortez and them boys came, they were the first ones to go into the transatlantic slave trade, man. The transatlantic slave trade started, man, around 1492. Right. When they started coming over here and enslaving and raping our brothers and sisters, man, which we call Central Americans today, man, from Guatemala to Panama, Zebulon, Zebulon, man. Well with me is their name. Understand, man, they are God's chosen people. And they're going through hell right now, just like how we all going through hell, man, to show that they are the Lord's people, man. And the Lord is going to come avenge our brothers. He's going to avenge us, black man, Hispanic man, and woman. Read in Genesis.
Oh, God. This is the book of Genesis, 49, verse 13. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea.
Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea.
And he shall be for a haven of ships.
He shall be for a haven of ships.
And his border shall be unto Zidon.
And his border shall be of Zidon, man. I don't know if y'all seen like how beautiful Panama, you know what I mean, and Honduras, and how Guatemala looks, man. That's a haven of ships too. A lot of them ships came through there, man. A lot of them slave ships, you know what I mean, from Spain came and raped, robbed, and destroyed God's chosen people, man, the tribe of Zebulon, man, Zebulon. Let's go to show you, man, that we face the same affliction, that we're the same people. And to speak to my brothers and sisters, you know what I mean, of the tribe of Zebulon, man. El hombre blanco es el diablo. That means the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man, in Spanish. Understand, man. We got the same oppressor, and he's the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. They put us through hell, blacks and Hispanics. You got what I asked for in Deuteronomy?
So God, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 18. And of Zebulun, he said, rejoice, Zebulun, in thy going out.
No, rejoice, Zebulun, in thy going out. There's going to come a time, man, we are going to come out of this captivity. There is.
Well, there is a little bit more as just combined with this environment.
Now you can read that.
So God. And Issachar in thy tents. Verse 19.
And Issachar in thy tents, man. And you know what's so heavy about that? Which goes to show you, man, even in Issachar are the so-called Mexicans today, man. The so-called Mexicans. Who's locked up in cages right now? It's locked up right now with them cages out there. You know what I mean? Arizona and Texas and New Mexico. With the tribe, Mexicans and Guatemalans, Hondurans, and Panamanians. Issachar and Zebulon, man. There's going to come a time, man, where our brothers and sisters is going to be released from them cages, man. When our King Yahweh comes and lays waste to this wicked kingdom for what they've done to God's chosen people, man. It's going to come a time, man, where our brothers, they're going to be locked up in some goddamn cage like an animal, man. It's going to come a time where the oppressor is going to be locked up in that same cage.
Right.
There anymore, everybody?
Okay. Verse 19. They shall call the people unto the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
There they shall offer sacrifices of righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
They shall sup of the abundance of the seas and of the treasures hid in the sand.
Man, there's going to come a time, man, our brothers and sisters are going to sacrifice for righteousness, man. But we're going to come back to serving our God and come back and stop falling. You know, and our brothers and sisters, man, of the tribe of Zebulon and the tribe of Issachar, they get caught up in. Big shout out to Officer 5,000. You know what I mean? He's an officer of 5,000. You know what I mean? It's right, but my brother Lahab, man, his father. You know what I mean? Kazak God, man. They bring out a lot of history, man. They bring out a lot of truth, man, on their show. You know what I mean? I believe it's every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, man, they bring out, you know what I mean? Because God got a powerful show, man. We got to understand, man, when we bring out that history. Well, a lot of our brothers and sisters knew who the hell they were, man. You know, they understood that they was Issachar. They understood that they was Zabalawan, man. It's important for us to understand that time is going to come again. We raising up some powerful men here in the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
I pray you understand. So with that being said, clip it a little early. A priest and officer of 1,000 Yedai. Most time, Christ for having me. You know what I mean? Cover for this class today. Priest and officer of 5,000 Rock. I want to implore everybody to pay your tithes, man. Pay your tithes, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation, man, and woman. Tune in to Black Watch every Monday from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. And tune in, you know what I mean, to Let a Hebrew Speak with General Hazai Young from every Monday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And tune in, you know what I mean, to Ashley the Prophet, GEN.YAHANNA every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And pay your tithes. White Cross Line Radio, Captain Zariak, Captain Qadash. We also have the New York Cookout coming up, man. East Coast Cookout in New York City, man, Randall's Island, August 23rd. That's a Saturday. Make sure y'all contact y'all camp leaders, man, your hotel reservations. I can't wait to see Israel. With that being said, I want to pass the class off to priest and officer. I
Give that priest, give priest and officer Yedai a strong hand. I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashia, which means tenth in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department. Priest fund, free will offering for priests. Not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upholding convocations is the memorial blowing of the trumpets. First day of the 7th month, Monday, September 6th, 2021, which we found in Leviticus chapter 23, verses 24 through 25. Remind Akim and Akwafim to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start to wear all black boots, shirt, headband, and scarf. And with that, I Majum. Lord's Prayer, sir.
Come, we do Lord's Prayer.
Lapala Hakudam, which means turn and face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayah. Qadash. Ayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malak Baba'ah. Watazayaka. Ayah. Aisha. Ba'aratazah. Kawo. Ayah. Bashemayah. Lathonanaw. Lakam. Ka. Yawam. Wasalak Lanaw. Wah Nawa. Kasalak Nawa. Wah Yanawa. Wala'ah. Tabi'ai Nawa. Banasaya 1. Above. Hawashai Nawa. Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Wahathapara. La'awalayim. Aman. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Sahar, which means turn. Sisters, Yeshabia, which means to be seated. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat. Majim. Barak.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Barakatuh.
Yashmatah, which means hands down. Sar, which means turn and face the sisters. Sisters, Amajim, which means to stand. Sisters, Yamajim Jabat, will be your head bowed down and covered. Your right hand collapsed over your left, like so, with your heels touching with your feet, the part of the 45-degree angle. When we say Barak, you will smite your left breast with your right hand. And with that, men of Israel, we're going to give the sisters more courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh, and what we said was, the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Yashmatah, which means hands down. Class dismissed.